Welcome to the Big Deal Catalyst. Appledore research found that many CSPs are struggling to meet the needs of large enterprise deals with complex requirements. Significant issues were raised by many CSPs in their research with regard to qualification inaccuracies, delayed responses, and the time it takes to generate a quote, let alone fulfill an order for a customer. Our champions, Unitel, BT Group, Aussie Broadband, and PLDT Smart from the Philippines, all had similar experiences with their own large enterprise customers. So how do we propose to solve these problems? Well, we intend to use telco specialist software components. We'll be using TMF open APIs and other standards to facilitate the interaction between those different components, and we'll be exploiting the capacity of a catalog-driven architecture to dynamically drive the configuration, pricing, quoting, and fulfillment of those large complex orders. The components that we have in the solution include CSG's quote and order platform, NI2's inventory and service qualification platform, and 6D's billing platform. Now, as we follow the journey through, there's both a design time and buy time journey. We're going to concentrate on the buy time journey, where we'll flow from an opportunity in the CRM platform through to the qualification, generating a quote, calculating the price, into the contract lifecycle management platform, through approvals, final quotes, and then generating orders that can then be fulfilled through a catalog-driven fulfillment platform. As we start in Salesforce, we have an existing opportunity that we're going to create a new quote for. So let's populate this. These characteristics are all coming from the catalog dynamically and rendering as we create the new quote. So we now have an empty quote and we need to add products to it. So we can select a new site from the existing sites this customer already has. So let's pick a site in Montreal. We can see the site details here. We can see the qualification results that have been already executed against this site for the various different technologies. And we can see how long ago it was last qualified. We can ask for that qualification to be done again. Now we need to verify the address. And if we have a look at the back end, what we'll actually see when we look at the detail for this particular site. So this is NI2's inventory platform. And if we find that same site, we can see all of the details, including the lat long for the site, which allows us to render it onto the Google Maps display. So we're pulling back the address information, qualifying that, and then we're actually executing a site qualification. And if we have a look at the back end, we can see that the detailed information of where that site is, what it's connected to, the network connectivity, and the specific inventory that's deployed at that site, and the availability of, for example, different ports and so forth at that site. And we can see there's an unassigned port there for coax 1. Now, going back to Salesforce, let's add another product. This product, the MPLS product, failed the service qualification, so we can't actually add it to this site. So that's an example of the service qualification failing and that preventing a salesperson from entering an invalid site or an invalid product for that site. So we need to link our flexible SD-WAN to our SD-WAN underlay. So let's select that from the inventory. And now we can go in and configure the flexible SD-WAN site product. Now when we open that up, we can see the site's already there. We'll pop it into edit mode, and that allows us to configure the various different characteristics of the product. So we'll select a platinum SLA, we might select monthly billing, a license type, a speed here of a gigabit, 750 up. We might select the customer premise equipment and the equipment part. And you can see it's dynamically calculated a price for us, including a monthly charge. We can change the term to 5 years. And let's save that. And we can see that there's a margin there. That's been calculated because we know what the costs are and the price that we're quoting to the customer. So you can see a summary of the costs there, and that results in that 24% roughly margin. So it's got a green tick, it means it's ready to quote. So let's begin the quote. And so what that's going to do is that's going to generate a human task for somebody in the finance team to approve this price. So if we switch over to the CSG quote and order portal, we can see that that particular quote is in a internal review state. And we can see that that has been assigned to the internal pricing review team. Now, as a supervisor, I could assign this task to one of my team members, or I could transfer it to another team. In this case, I'm simply going to approve it, and you can see I can complete that task. If we refresh the view now, we can see that the status has been updated to customer approval, and a quote PDF has been generated. Now, if we put our sales hat back on and refresh the page, we'll see that the status has changed to customer approval. And if we go over to the attachments tab, we'll see that that PDF quote has been generated as well. Let's quickly open that PDF quote. And I'll zoom in so that you can actually see what it says. And so as you'd expect, it's got the one product on there, it's got some headline characteristics, it's got the monthly charge and the calculated charge and the tax. Now a customer could download this, electronically sign it, and upload the signed version of the quote themselves to their self-service portal, or they might choose to email it to the account manager. Either way, the account manager can now verify that the customer has approved it. And so when the customer wants to commit to buy, we can progress it into order. Now, what we've done here is we've sent the customer information off to the Syrian Labs contract lifecycle management platform using TMF 651 to create a contract object and to set the contract up for the customer. That would enable the customer to do the contract negotiations. Let's have a quick look at the CLM platform from Syrian Labs. And we can see that the contract information has been pushed into Syrian Labs. We've got some details there about who's involved. At the moment, this is a very lightweight interface, but you can see at least that we've got the pricing information that was part of the contract has been pushed into Syrian Labs. Now, in a later stage of this catalyst, we plan to more fully integrate with Syrian Labs to allow the contract lifecycle to be fully displayed. For now, let's assume that that has been finalised and we've pushed the quote from that customer approval stage into a customer acceptance stage and then flow through to fulfillment. Now, if we have a look at the system messages, we can see that we've actually completed a TMF 645 for the service qualification and got a result back. Since that passed, we send a service order southbound to using TMF 641 and got a result back. And in fact, we got multiple results back through the different stages of that. And then finally, we send using the TMF 622, the product order information through to the billing platform. Now, we believe that the TMF 622 is not the best suited API for this purpose, but it is the only API that the TMF currently has. And we believe that this is an area for improvement where we can contribute our learnings of this catalyst back to the TMF. So you can see at a glance that we've got a complete flow through now from lead all the way through to fulfillment and billing. And if we refresh the view, you'll see that the status is now in a complete state. Now let's have a look at the 6D technology billing platform. And what we're going to do is we're going to generate a bill run. So let's schedule a test bill, a monthly bill. We'll select the cycle and we'll do it on a one time for a specific account ID. And let's submit that. So we can see it's in a pending state. If we refresh, that bill run has completed. Let's have a quick look at that now. So that's the one that's just completed. So let's open the bill that's been generated. So we can see the account information. You can see the discounts that have applied, the total charges, the monthly charges, etc. So billing in an enterprise use case is generally more complex than it is for consumers, because often during the enterprise sales process, the account team will put in bespoke discounts or pricing. So you need to pass that information at the conclusion of the fulfillment cycle so that the billing platform has the correct pricing information, the correct charges, so that they can be applied correctly for that particular customer. We're doing another bill run now. In this particular bill run, you'll see the custom discounts that have been applied in this particular bill run. So we've got our flexible SD-WAN site and the discount that's been applied as a result of the choices that the account manager has made. Let's do one more bill run, and this time, in the meantime, since the previous bill run, the network has notified the billing platform that there's been some disruption in the service for this particular customer. So if we have a look at this new bill that's been generated, we'll see now that the bill includes some compensation for the breach of SLA. So you can see there's a discount there, and there's down below compensation for breach of SLA. So what have we learned throughout this catalyst so far? We believe that there are possible extensions for TMF 651. That's the agreement API, with regard to being able to send addendums to agreements and to specify the pricing that the agreement is for. There are some items in the API that we believe are lacking, and so we intend to contribute that back to the TM forum. We believe that TMF 645, the Service Qualification API, has some possible extensions that could be made to better handle qualification of paths between 2 points on Earth, as opposed to specific site qualifications. Thirdly, the use of the TMF 622 product order API to send pricing information to the billing platform, whilst it does work, it is a limiting factor. And the reason for that is that it doesn't include other factors such as SLAs that may be negotiated up front that the billing platform needs to take into account when paying out compensation. Additionally, TMF 622 doesn't really cater for sending costs. So if the enterprise customer is buying a product that includes third-party products, and the telco needs to be able to pay that third party the correct amount, i.e. the cost component of this product, then TMF 622 is definitely not well suited. So we believe that there should be a new dedicated API for sending charges to not only billing platforms, but also to supplier reconciliation platforms. In phase 2 of the catalyst, we intend to fill out our TMF 651 and 645 integrations with both Syrian Labs and with NI2. We intend to introduce a new service order management layer, potentially CNO Blue Planet, and add resource reservations into the flow, because these are all aspects that large enterprise deals need to be able to cater to. We intend to extend our support for agreements and contract lifecycle management, and to build support for bulk enterprise orders, because our enterprise customers have told us that those are the enterprise orders that keep them up at night. With that, thank you for watching this demo, and we hope to see you in Copenhagen in 2025, where you'll be able to see phase 2 of the big deal.